All right, guys, welcome back to our monthly program of Hack Central, a Tech Bytes program coming in a part of our other programs as well. Today is February 16th, and we got another day of going into something a bit different. Our main goal with this Hack Central program is to sort of take a step back from the stuff we usually do in our project development, in our algorithmic programming course, and sort of just do something for fun, whether that be looking at some APIs or libraries which can do cool things for us, like today. And that one thing which we're going to be looking at today, as you can probably tell by the header, is something called a Tkinter in a language which we've been using for the past couple months of Python. So let's learn all about that today without any further ado. You guys already know who I am, guys. My name is Rayaan Siddiqi. I'm a senior at Conant High School. The motto is engraved now in your heads, I hope.
And my name is Labdhi, same as Rayaan. I go to Conant as a senior.
And that's a quick recap, guys. I believe everybody here has already participated. Yeah, we got Jessica, Chase, Ayush. Yeah, you guys know about these courses. But if you're watching this at home in a recorded version, we have some other courses which we do at the library as well. Algorithm programming every single Monday, where we do a cool problem. We look at how to solve a problem, we draw it out, draw a solution, and finally we code it. Have a bunch of fun there. We do some competitions there as well. And then every Wednesday, we do a product development course where we make a project. We just recently finished up a mastermind game. And tomorrow we're going to be beginning a tic-tac-toe game in the language of Python. So get excited for that. And then every Friday, like Chase just mentioned, we have a video. Every other Friday, we have a video gaming hour. And this Friday's game will be Pictionary. And it seems like Chase is already confident that he'll take the win home this week.
All right, so for today's topic, we are going to introduce you guys to Tkinter. Now, as Rayaan said, Tkinter is a module in Python, a language that we've been working on. But what is a module? Let's recap a little bit before we do go on to what Tkinter does. A module is basically a tool that a language allows you to download into your project and use its functionalities. Some modules that we have used in algorithmic programming and in project development are the random module, which just creates random numbers. In this case, the Tkinter module will help us create a graphical user interface. Now, in short, a graphical user interface is called a GUI. You might have heard people use that term before. Basically, it means what the user sees, the buttons, the screen, the background, the colors. That is GUI. And that is what Tkinter does in Python. So far, we've used Python with inputs and print statements, but that's in the console. That's the backend. That's just what we use for debugging. What if we want to actually present a project to our client or a teacher? Using a console may work, but it doesn't look too good. And that's why people use Tkinter, where you can actually have buttons on the screen that do the same things, but look better.
Exactly. And you guys might remember last Hack Central. Yeah, we were talking about that heap algorithm. Remember that? How we could use a heapify library, I believe it was, in order to sort our arrays. Remember that? And we logged an example with Dijkstra. I still can't pronounce that. How do you pronounce
Dijkstra.
that? Dijkstra, yeah,
Dijkstra.
Dijkstra's algorithm. And remember how she coded that in Python. And the way you remember when she hit run, we had a little window pop up, which like we could click, have like our black boxes, and then the maze would be drawn around that. Well, the way that little box appeared was because of this module called Tkinter. And just to recap, like we were talking about, Labdhi said, it's for, yesterday we talked a bunch about abstraction, making stuff organized. And Tkinter sort of goes into that. We have a bunch of stuff going on, like with our mastermind game, a bunch of output. We're reading, we're inputting, reading, inputting. A way to extend and make our mastermind game even better is to add this module to Tkinter, make a graphical interface, make buttons which the user can press, add text fields, make it look a bit nicer so that it's more fun. If you think about it from your sense, would you play a game which is all text-based? Probably not, right? You'd probably want something which is more graphical, something which you actually have fun in. So that's the idea with Tkinter. Maybe if you were thinking Python was all in the output box, well, it mainly is. There's for sure Python's considered like a backend language in the terms of handling data, but there's also, like we've shown in the past, with the sorting algorithm. You can make graphical interfaces to show how stuff is going on as well. And with this idea of Tkinter, the sky's the limit. You can make games, make cool projects, just like that visual sorting algorithm we showed last time as well.
All right, so let's take a look at some code using Tkinter.
Alrighty, so let's take a look. So by now, guys, we all have an idea. We know what a library does. I know Chase knows. Chase, Ayush, tell me, what's the purpose of this again? This first line of code.
It's like an import function. So like you're importing it from that library. You're importing that library.
Yep. And just like we did in the past, I could import any module I want. And essentially using this module, like Tkinter today, I can do a bunch of things. And right now I got some pre-written code right here. And this allows us to create something which we'll show in a little bit. But basically, we're using this module in order to first create the object. But for now, let's say it creates the thing, essentially the box. And then right here, we are assigning a title, which will appear. So I think, how about we actually first run this and have an idea of what it looks like, and then we can talk about more of what the code does. So I just hit run. And now, you guys can see that, right? That little box with the 4 buttons?
Yep, it is quite enlarged though.
Oh, okay.
But yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. Yeah, the ratio might be weird. But you can see that those 4 buttons I can press, stuff can happen. I can eventually assign functions. Remember, we can create functions and attach them as well. And this is a little GUI like we were talking about, which has been created because of the Tkinter library. Now, before we move on to some other examples as well, there's some basic code right here. This is allowing us to establish the framing around the actual box, which just appeared. And then right here, we are creating 4 separate buttons. You can notice that it's pretty similar to the code. We have Tkinter.button. We're adding whatever we want the button to be called. So right here, if I change this to Hack Central, then the button's text will literally read Hack Central. If I change this to Rayaan, and then if I change this one to Labdhi, and then change this one to Ayush, we'll see the names change. If I hit run, we run this.
Hey, there was a red skull on like the bottom left of it. That like just came up and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, that's like a kill switch. So if I'm right, this is a different, we're usually using something called Replit. This is a different coding environment where we can code. It's called PyCharm. It's like an application you can download for your laptop or desktop. But now
I'll just put in really quick. I'll just put in a vocab word there. A lot of people use it. It's an IDE, so integrated development environment. Yeah, people just call it IDE. PyCharm is an IDE. WebStorm is an IDE. Just like places or applications where you code. Go ahead.
Exactly. So think of it like a coding environment, guys. Depends on just where are you doing it. And like you guys can probably see on your screen right now, we changed the text and now we see 4 separate buttons with our names, which we just changed to. Similarly, we can change many characteristics about the buttons. We can change their colors. And also, it just doesn't have to be buttons, which are just standalone buttons. We can use this to also have functions which are attached. So say I press a button, then certain line or something is printed out. And that is something which we will check out in this second example. So the second example, same idea. We're still using the Tkinter module. We're still creating the window, the physical box, which is going to appear, putting a title. We can make it whatever you want. We can say Hack Central Button Showcase. And when I hit a button, something's going to happen. Right here, we have a text line of code, which is going to print out this text whenever I click this button. So right now, this line of code is the button, which is going to be created. And then this function, because how do we know it's a function? Because it has the word def in front of it. We're calling this function. See how it's highlighted right here and right here? When it says command equals, that means that I'm literally going to call this function whenever I click this button. So let's see how that goes. So whenever I hit this button, which has click me, we should see this sentence GUI with Tkinter populate our box. Alrighty, so right now we just got a little window right here with one button. But if I hit the click me button, anybody have any idea what's going to happen?
Click me.
Yep. we're going to get that statement being printed out. And this shows how a button can actually be linked to some other functionalities as well. So I can keep on printing this and we'll keep on getting stuff.
All right, you can stop clicking it now. Too much GUI.
And if we check this out again.
Okay, pop quiz in the middle. What is GUI? What does GUI stand for?
Greatly use intelligence.
You wish. So again, GUI is the thing you see, the graphics, the
Wait, then why are
UI.
you calling it GUI? Isn't it like called the GUI?
It's
Why?
okay. So GUI stands for GUI. I mean, everyone calls it GUI in the coding world. So whenever you code,
Okay.
just call it GUI. That's the
In the
slang
gaming
word.
world, they call it GUI. They just say GUI.
Yeah, Graphical User Interface is what it stands for, guys, remember. So if we go back to our example right here, right? So how about we add something more? Right now it's just telling us a line, it's printing that out, it's cool, but we can go a step further. We know what we're doing nowadays, right? So how about we do something where we create a button, which when we click, it's gonna tell us a random multiplication fact. So we'll get rid of, we can actually just comment this line of code out for now. And what we're gonna do is, we'll document this too so we have an idea. We're gonna generate 2 random numbers and multiply them, and we can print those out to our GUI. Now, when I say generate a random number, anybody have an idea what or something, what module are we going to use? We used this in the past as well.
The random module?
Yep, head on, Jessica, nice. That's what we're going to do. So what we're going to do is go back to the top. And generally, guys, in terms of writing code, we always like to declare our modules, the libraries which we're importing, always at the very top. It makes sense, you know, we're just declaring it, getting it out of the way. So I'm just going to say import random. And then we're going to create our first random number, which will be multiplied, right? So we can say first random number. Set that equal to, anybody remember the code which we write to generate a random number? That's an advanced question, but let's see if anybody remembers. Oh, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Yes, we can.
All right. It goes something like random dot
Rand range.
head on, Chase, nice.
Nice.
And then we can do a lower and upper bound. So say we want to do between, we can do 0 and 100. So we can just do 0. And then we can actually do 1 and 100. So we get an actual product out. And then we're going to do the same exact thing for a second number. So I can quite literally just copy that line of code, paste it, change my variable to second random number, and that will also be a different number. So now if I want, what we can do is print out these 2 numbers. So I can just say first number is like this, and then we can do the same for our second number. So second number is our second round number. So now if I run this, we should see when I hit that button in the print area. So I can't sort of screen share both things at the same time, but I'm gonna press the button now, and there we go. We see that there are 2 different numbers being generated every single time. And now all that's left is for us to do the multiplication. So what we can do is create let's get rid of these 2 lines of code, and create a third variable, which is going to hold the product of our 2 numbers. So we can say product equals first round number times the second round number. And then if we want to go fancy, we can actually just uncomment this line of code. And then right here, we can say answer is, and we can say the answer is the product variable. Alrighty. So now if we run this.
I thought you were gonna have us like try to do the multiplication of 42 times 94. I'm like, all right, where's my calculator?
He said he isn't.
Oh yeah, that's okay. Let's do that. You know, if it was between a bit of a lower range, then I think. But you know, I don't think the competitive spirit
Here,
without
there's a syntax. Here.
Is this because it's not a string?
We can just bring in Avanish then.
Oh, I think there's an extra, or actually no.
Additional argument follows.
Oh, you can't have text equals something, comma something. Put a parentheses outside. Answer is, and then the
Oh, okay.
I think.
I think so. Yeah. I think I need this as well now.
Oh no, yeah.
All right, let's run this.
Nope.
Oh, I think one more. There we go. All right, there we go. Some live debugging right there, guys. So we gotta put a parentheses around our whole statement. And now if I hit click me for a random fact. All right. Yeah.
Put a parentheses after product and take that out after the pack. Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Let's run this again. There we go. All right.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So now if I go back to the GUI, guys, there we go. We can see answer is. We can keep on printing out. We got some braces, looks like, coming around the answer is as well. That might be something to do with the parentheses, but we can see that we are able to do a multiplication problem and have that shown up in our GUI as well. And this, this is just like a basic example. You can change the background color of this interface. You can add color, change the fonts, a whole bunch of things to make this look even nicer. And you can probably tell now why using Tkinter sometimes is better if you're showing off this project to friends, family. If you're actually going to do a presentation on it, highly recommend using this Tkinter module. And then to wrap things up, guys, for our final example with Tkinter, we're going to see a full-blown project. This is not mine. I got it from the internet, but it's a calculator which somebody made using Tkinter. So if I hit run.
Isn't this just what you made using Replit?
We can make this. I don't know if Replit can handle.
I think it can.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Most likely. Let me check.
Oh, if it can, that's awesome.
That'd be a nice
if it can.
project for project development.
That would be, yeah. We can definitely use Tkinter in future products as well with tic-tac-toe, maybe, yeah. So as you guys can see now, when I hit the run button, we get a whole. Looks like the resizing is a bit weird, and I can't extend it anymore. But you can see it. There's a whole calculator. It's formatted nicely. I can press many different numerical digits. I can even have a clear option. And there's supposed to be a multiplication, addition, subtraction, division sign towards the right. But it's just like your standard elementary school scientific calculator, which you're probably used to seeing. And if you want to take one last look at the code as well, it's pretty similar, guys. Just like in the past, we got our module at the way top. We're making that actual window, establishing the width and height of our window, adding a title for our window, and then this is where the math is happening. We have the separate functions which take care of performing the operations like addition, subtraction, the equal sign, clearing out as well. And then these, this is where we're creating all of the 9 separate buttons as we go now. So it's, the main thing is once you learn how to use Tkinter, it's pretty simple. You just got to learn how to change the parameter. Oh, let's do a quick little vocab here. Can anybody tell the class what are these being passed in to our frame inside the parentheses?
That's how big like each button is, it seems.
Yep.
Like how tall and how wide they are because of the height and width.
Yep. So Chase, you're telling me the right thing. Do you remember the vocab word? What are these called? Like this window variable, this width. We're passing them in. Hint, hint from yesterday.
What do you pass inside a function? Starts with a P. A. R.
Parameter?
Yeah.
Yep.
That was what I was thinking all along.
Of course. Yep. So as you guys can see, all of this, the width, the height, the BD, not sure what that stands for, the highlight, the background as well, the black color which we are putting, all of these are parameters which we are passing in. And using these parameters, we're able to make sure that we have our window looking exactly like how we want it to. So that takes us to the end of the code showing the basic idea was let's just get you guys exposed to that. We've been using the language of Python for like a month and a half now. We've done a bunch of things in the output, the products we made, the problems we've tackled in algorithmic programming, but there's always another side. And that other side today is how we can use this library of Tkinter to add some dazzle, make our projects look a bit nicer as well.
And just an update, Tkinter is you can import Tkinter in Replit, and it works perfectly. So I can share my screen really quick, show you guys what it looks like.
I remember the calculator because Rayaan cheated in the math thing. using
So
Replit.
this is just like a simple Tkinter create window, window.title, window.main loop, and then this is the window that comes up, and then we can add in buttons and all that. So yeah, maybe possible next project. I don't know.
Exactly. That could definitely be an extension which we can look into. All right. So with that, guys, that brings us to the end of this month's Hack Central event. Hopefully you guys had a good time, got exposed to something else as well. Guys, remember tomorrow we have our product developing course. We're going to be starting up our tic-tac-toe project. And then Friday, as Chase mentioned earlier, we got our Pictionary video gaming hour. We'll catch you guys then. Let us know if you guys have any questions. See you guys.
All right,
Bye.
bye. Thank you.
See you guys.